Are you tired of RCs that lack the true-to-life detail you crave? Tired is settling for it's close enough? Well, say hello to the game-changing CJ7 Renegade from Axial. In my opinion, one of the most scale-looking rigs Axial has ever launched. What's up guys, I'm the RC Princess, and today we are unboxing the Axial CJ7 Jeep Renegade. This thing is decked out with authentic scale touches everywhere you look. So let's jump right into the housekeeping portion of this video so we can take it out and see what this beast is really capable of. This is the Axial SCX-103 CJ7 Jeep Renegade. This thing is amazing upon first glance. I don't even know where to start. It is RTR and it comes in colors red and gray. My dad opted for the red one and I was more drawn to the gray one. But let me know down in the comments below, which color do you guys prefer? It is 10th scale, but sitting next to a TRX4, I'd say the scale is a little off, but this thing has so much scale detail to it that it really doesn't matter to me, but I know it would matter to some. I wanted to throw in a little overview of it sitting next to a TRX4 and also the SCX-103 Gladiator for you guys. It has full interior, and for all you coffee addicts like me, it comes with a removable coffee cup. Anyone else excited? No? Just me? Okay. It also comes with a pop can, and they just sit right in the cup holders and it looks so cute. Some of the things that set this apart from the previous SCX-103s is it has operational doors. There's just a body clip that you pull out and then the doors swing open and close. And not only do they open, they can come completely off, so you can ride around in style. The center console is also fully operational. I'm not sure what you would put in there. A margarita sure ain't gonna fit, but I'm not sure. It has the option. The mirrors also fold in and out. They're a little scary because if you hit a rock the right way, you're probably gonna rip them right off. So I try to make sure that they're folded like completely in so they're up and out of the way. But it is really scary to think about that you could just rip your mirror right off. And speaking of beating up the CJ7, it has body armor on it, so that should give it some extra protection for, you know, rock crawling or if you catch a tree limb or something. So it does have a little bit of added protection to the body. You may have noticed that it is a straight axle compared to the Gladiator or the JLU Jeep, which are portals. But honestly, I'm not mad at it because it gives it more of the realism effect that it's got going on. So I'm not hating it. It does have a 2.75 inch ground clearance, so plenty of room for getting up and over obstacles. And actually, the CJ7 has AR45 straight axles, which are actually the axles used on the full-size CJ7s, which is a really cool bonus feature they added. And while we're talking dimensions, let me just throw some numbers at you. This is a 12.3 wheelbase, and this rig has a height of 9.75 inches and a width of 9.25 inches, and a length of 18.9 inches. The CJ7 also weighs about 6.9 pounds. The body is relatively heavy on this rig, so it is a little top heavy. So moving on down, this rig is equipped with Mickey Thompson Baja Boss tires. Try to say that 3 times. And honestly guys, I have no complaints about them. They were pretty good out there on the rocks and stuff, and they are mounted to Raceline Daytona beadlock wheels. So they look really nice and they're also really functional. It does come with a Spectrum DX3 radio. It's a really nice radio in my opinion. And it is a 3-channel, which is something to note because the rig actually comes with the dig function installed, ready to go, but it also is 2-speed capable. So if you wanted to have the 2-speed, you would not be able to have the dig function and vice versa. So you have to pick which one's more important to you, or you can put it on a multi-memory radio, which is what I did. I have it on my DX5 Rugged, which also runs my 6-scale Jeep, my Gladiator, a few other rigs that I can't remember at the moment. And for those of you who don't know what a dig function is, it's basically just where you lock up the back wheels so it gives you more controlled and tighter turns. One of my favorite things about the radio is it does have the thumb steering, so it may not seem like a big deal for some, but as a YouTuber, it is really hard to film and steer with my little baby hands. So having the thumb steering is always an extra bonus for me. And on the note of the radio, if using a Spectrum Smart battery, you can see your battery life, so you always know how much battery life you have left. One more thing before we take the body off and show you guys what's inside, you may have noticed that the red CJ7 has a light bar installed. So they advertise that it fits a 6-inch light bar. The CJ7s actually come with light bar mounts. It is not an easy task, you guys. It took 2 of us pushing it together and screwing the screws in. We finally made it work, but there was times where I was like, this thing is going to break. It is under a lot of pressure right now. So beware, it is possible, but it is not easy. The CJ7 really is a scale enthusiast dream come true. So now let's open it up and see what's inside. So getting the body clips off is not super difficult. It's getting it back on that is a learning curve. It took me a little bit to figure out exactly the process that needs to happen, and honestly now I would say it's easier to get on than my Gladiator or the 6 scale Jeep, but it is a learning curve. And if you guys cursed and cussed out your Gladiator or JLU Jeep or anything like that, you're probably gonna lose some hair over this. You're gonna be pulling it out. But I promise you it gets easier, so just keep practicing. I love that the clips are underneath for the realism effect, but not only are they underneath, they're up and underneath. So this is where my baby hands come in handy. I feel bad for the people who have monstrous man hands because it is going to be super difficult for you, but it's not impossible. So take note, it is an IC3 plug, just like the Gladiator, the JLU Jeep, but if you primarily run IC5 plugs, you will want to get that switched out right away. I have both batteries, so it doesn't really matter to me. I never switched my Gladiator or anything, so I'm just probably going to keep mine at an IC3. My dad's already got switched to an IC5 before he even left the hobby shop. So they did stick with the SCX-10.3 theme, and it does have the 2-in-1 ESC and receiver, which I have no complaints about, until you are going to throw a hobby wing in it, and then you will need to get a new receiver because the hobby wing is a 2-in-1 motor and ESC. So that is the only drawback, but I have no complaints about it. But it will probably get a hobby wing. My dad's actually already has a hobby wing Fusion Pro in it. Mine is probably coming soon just because I love that FOC technology. The CJ7 has all metal gearing and is also water resistant. It also has 2 battery mount positions. It also has headlights, taillights, and is ready for when and if you decide to add rock lights. Named the most iconic rock crawler of all time, the Axial CJ7 can be yours for the price of $499.99. So now that the housekeeping is out of the way, let's take it out and see what this thing is really capable of. And now onward to the trails where I share tips and my honest opinion of the Axial CJ7 Jeep Renegade. First things first, I'm curious, drop a comment down below what your vote is, doors on or doors off. Which do you prefer? A setting I definitely recommend going in and programming right away is the drag brake. It is pretty non-existent, as you can see. Granted, the red one already has a Hobby Wing Fusion Pro installed. With the gray one, with programming, you should still be able to do a little better than where it's at stock. If you guys want to know more about programming and just how to do it, I did a whole entire video dedicated to that, so I'll go ahead and leave that linked in the description box down below. Another thing I noticed right away was the CJ7 has a lot of torque twist. If you guys have ever ran an Axial bomber, it's comparable to that. So that will hinder its crawling capabilities just a bit. The CJ7 is not the most amazing crawler stock by any means. I like to say it's a high trail bomber hybrid due to the torque twist, and also it seems to be super top heavy. The body is so heavy that rolling is a big problem, but with a little weight added down low to lower your center of gravity, that should help. Honestly, stock, I'm not mad at the ESC. No, it doesn't have FOC technology, but it is not as touchy as some of my other RTRs on the throttle. I am able to ease into the throttle. Not having the FOC technology, you will have to continue to give it more throttle while trying to get up and over an obstacle, but it's not super bad on throttle control. So my final thoughts. It is not even close to being one of my top crawlers for performance by any means. Some work needs to be done. As you can see, the red one got an early start, but it has quickly become one of my top favorite crawlers. It would never push my Phoenix or Sport out, but man, this thing is honestly amazing. I can see it going with a lot. This is another example of what I was talking about for you guys with the drag brake. The red one just kind of eased down and the gray one just kind of came barreling down. So definitely could use some fine tuning. So much for watching today, guys. Drop a comment down below. What are your thoughts on the CJ7? I love it, but it definitely needs some work. So thank you again, and if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and also give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel and I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.